Hi y'all, welcome back to Farm to You to Table. I'm Andy Hopper, your floral BFF. Let me help you become the designer. And here's what you're going to need this month. You're going to need the Lone Star Living for November, the Plus One, which is beautiful sunflowers, your great pumpkin container, which you can find in blooms. You can also ask for a block of floral foam, a knife, and your tools. You know what? And a cup of coffee. Let's get designing. We're going to take our beautiful pumpkin that we have here, take off the lid, and then we're going to cut our piece of Oasis. We only need a half a piece of Oasis floral foam to go into this arrangement. And don't be shy about cutting it off the edges, because you need to fit in there. You don't want to get all dirty on the outside. So I slice off the corners like this to make it a little more easier for me to put it inside the pumpkin. So don't be afraid to push it in. So take a little bit of oomph to do this, and there you go. Then I'm gonna start off by taking my beautiful Lone Star Living bouquet, and I'm gonna use, I love it, it already has these beautiful pieces of cedar in it, and this is what's gonna make this arrangement really beautiful, is this cedar. So I'm gonna take and cut it into segments, again, because I want as much as I can. Oh, I love this one. Look how it's just almost falling over. That's perfect. Actually, I want to use it right now in this piece. It's so pretty and how it's going to fall over a little bit. And don't be afraid to like bend a little bit. Yeah, I love like evergreen stuff because it's really pretty and it has this almost like malleable tendency to it. So you can actually put it and let it lay over really pretty like that. Put this one up. And these are so pretty and just, they kind of fall off the edge. I just love how they kind of drape over the edge of this really beautiful white pumpkin. I use the white pumpkins a lot because they just fit in any decor, you know, and it can be softer than the orange, especially if you're going into the holidays. And some people already decorate their house for Christmas, but they still want those little accents of the fall/Thanksgiving in their home, you know, and then it doesn't stand out as much. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to start by adding in some of my bigger things. We talked a little bit about grouping and terracing and things like that in other videos. In this one, I want to show you the difference between the two. So what's going to happen is, if I was to group these together, they would bunch together really tightly and they wouldn't show each other off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the front side of this bouquet and I'm going to terrace them up so they stack on top of each other so that you can see them individually and they don't impede on each other. That's my focus right here. And I'm just going to stack them up really beautiful and terrace them up. It's like a stair step. Just think of it that way. Again, don't push it in too deep because you don't want it to impede on this one, but you also want it to have like a nice step up. And then the last one we have here is going to be a little bit higher. I'm just going to stick it in right here, and there we are. So they see how they're kind of just stair-stepped up. So they're not impeding on each other, they're not smushing each other, and you can see each individual bloom. Then I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna group my other stuff too. I'm gonna group my beautiful solidago off to one side. It's really pretty. I like to group things. When you group things and staircase things or terrace things in your bouquet, it just causes visual impact. And I really want to talk about like this impact that you get from there, because when you take pictures of it, it looks really pretty in pictures. Then off the side over here, I'm going to add in, I'm going to break them off in segments of my beautiful purple. It's going to go right here on the side of this, really pretty. And don't be afraid to cut off these longer breaks like this. And then put them all together. Like again, I want to group it because I love this grouping effect that's going on in this arrangement. It's just going to cause great impact. And as you look at it, I'm going to turn around to me. I'm going to kind of fill in on this other side. Again, it's going to create this really great visual pop of color, this beautiful complementary color to almost the bronze. And on the back side, across from this, you almost have this similar, almost darker tone of bronze. I'm gonna put it on the back side so we see it really pretty over here. Beautiful. Again, I'm gonna go kind of deep with it. I wanna do this whole thing over here. So I kind of have on the back side, I have this beautiful arrangement. So if it's on a table or on somewhere people can see it, it goes all the way around. Again, don't be afraid to stick it in very deep. And on the back side, where this hole is right here, I'm gonna take my 3 sunflowers and my +1, and I'm going to group them together. Instead of terrace, I'm gonna put them together almost like this, so they're kind of grouped together in one big space. If you want to, you can arrange it in your hand like this and group them together, and then say, I want to stick them all in together, and you can do them all at one time. So I'm gonna cut them off, and I'm gonna stick them in all at one time. I'm still gonna hold it here, and I'm gonna press it in all at one time. So they all stick in together, and they're grouped beautifully together in the back side of this arrangement. Again, that makes a focal on the front side and a focal on the back side. So all of your guests can see this beautiful arrangement that you've made. You're gonna surprise and wow your guests when they're sitting at your Thanksgiving table, or they're over for a cup of coffee, or they're having a cup of tea at your house. They're gonna go like, did you make that? And you go, yeah, I did make that. That's one of those things, I learned this, and you're gonna teach others how to make things too. Because guess what, you're becoming a designer. And then I'm gonna fill in on the back side, some purple on this back side. Again, I'm gonna bring this purple to this other little area right here and stick it in. Again, making sure it goes down in the oasis, and you'll become proficient at this. Don't be afraid of it. Again, when you become a designer, I was always told that you stick it once, stick it right. So come back on top of there and stick it one time and stick it in and go. Don't pull it back out and stick it back in. You're gonna basically make a hole in the oasis, and you're also gonna stop up the stem of the flower. So don't do that. So here we are. We have our beautiful little centerpiece already made. And if you want to, sometimes this comes with a little attachment that you can actually stick it into the side of it, into the oasis. Or like me, sometimes I'll just set it really nicely on the edge to complete my centerpiece, and I'll just add some candles or something to it. So there we are, this beautiful centerpiece for your Thanksgiving table or somewhere beautiful in your home. Thank you for joining us with Farm to Table, and join us next month where we show you how to become the designer. Join us next month for Farm to Table where you become the designer.